something unusual has been unfolding behind the palace walls, something the royal family has never faced before. What started as a private family issue has now spilled into the open, and the truth can no longer be contained. Princess Anne and King Charles have reached their limits over a long-buried secret. But this isn't just a case of family drama, it runs much deeper. The unfolding situation could have major implications for the monarchy's future. At first glance, it's not obvious why Princess Anne and Queen Camilla never formed a close relationship. Both hold significant roles in the royal family and seem to share similar values and responsibilities. However, their distant connection stems from personal history that's far more complex than public roles or royal duty. Their story is rooted in love, loyalty, and disappointment, elements that shaped their bond long before they became family. Before Camilla joined the royal family, she had a romantic history with Andrew Parker Bowles. What many may not know is that Andrew also had a close relationship with Princess Anne. They had a genuine connection and even considered a future together. But that future was blocked by religious restrictions. Andrew was Catholic, and Anne, as a member of the Church of England, wasn't allowed to marry someone of his faith at the time. Though marriage was not an option, their bond remained strong for a while before eventually fading as their lives moved in separate directions. Meanwhile, Camilla and Andrew were involved in an on-and-off romance filled with highs and lows. It was during one of their breaks that Camilla met Charles, Anne's brother, and everything began to change. Charles was drawn to Camilla's calm confidence, but their relationship faced obstacles from the start. Camilla didn't fit the image of a future queen. She had a past, was slightly older than Charles, and didn't meet certain expectations within royal circles. When Charles left for military service, Camilla returned to Andrew, and the two married in 1973. That decision marked a turning point. Charles lost the woman he loved, Anne, and witnessed someone who had once meant so much to her marry another. Andrew's deep connections to both Anne and Camilla made the situation even more complicated. It wasn't just about romance anymore, the emotional entanglement ran deep and left scars that would linger for years. These events quietly shaped royal dynamics for decades. Anne moved on, marrying Mark Phillips and devoting herself to her royal responsibilities. Despite ending her romantic involvement with Andrew, she remained close to him, even choosing him as her daughter Zara Tyndall's godfather. This enduring friendship between Anne and Andrew, though innocent, may have caused tension for Camilla during her marriage to him. It's difficult to ignore a strong bond between your spouse and a former flame, especially when that person is as respected as Princess Anne. Camilla never publicly showed any hostility, but royal observers sensed an underlying strain. Matters became even more delicate when Camilla and Andrew divorced and she married Prince Charles. Now, Camilla was not only Anne's brother's wife but also the ex-wife of Anne's former partner, an awkward twist to an already complicated history. Anne, known for her devotion to royal tradition, didn't easily embrace those who challenged the monarchy's standards or entered the family under controversial circumstances. Her life had been marked by discipline, commitment, and loyalty. Camilla's entry into the royal family, under such a clouded past, was difficult for Anne to accept. To make things more complex, many still viewed Camilla as the woman who contributed to the end of Charles and Diana's marriage. Diana remained beloved by the public, and her memory cast a long shadow. Anne, shaped by her experiences and dedication, saw Camilla not just as an individual but as a symbol of the changes disrupting the monarchy's traditions. Anne likely didn't harbor personal hatred, but she disapproved of the choices that led to Camilla becoming queen. For Anne, duty always came before emotion. That perspective likely created distance between the two women. Camilla's role stirred mixed feelings, not only within the royal family but also among the public. Over time, their joint appearances became less frequent, and when they did attend the same events, their interactions were brief and formal. Despite being in the same circles, they never developed a genuine connection. Their shared past and complicated ties made it too difficult. Their story isn't one of loud disputes or public arguments. It's a subtle tale of unresolved emotions, missed opportunities, and the weight of royal expectations. What began as a romantic triangle evolved into decades of quiet tension. Though they continued fulfilling their royal roles with determination, they were never truly united. Duty always took precedence over personal connection, and maintained her trademark composure and discipline. She valued earned respect over social niceties, never offering warmth simply out of obligation. Titles and family status meant little to her without real dedication. So when Camilla officially joined the royal family, and remained cautious, she didn't immediately embrace her and kept her distance, offering only what was required. Camilla's entry wasn't easy. She knew many inside and outside the monarchy judged her harshly. Determined not to be defined by her past, she steadily took on royal duties. She involved herself in charitable work, supported Charles at official functions, and gradually learned to navigate royal life with poise and patience. As Camilla's efforts became more visible, Anne's stance began to change, gradually. It wasn't a complete turnaround, Anne didn't suddenly become affectionate or open. But she acknowledged Camilla's hard work and recognized her commitment. The resistance lessened, though their relationship remained formal. They were polite but distant. At royal events, they stood near one another, exchanged words when necessary, and smiled for cameras, but those smiles rarely showed genuine warmth. Their connection, though civil on the surface, was more about formality than friendship. Much of the underlying tension stemmed from their different approaches to royal life. Anne had grown up within the system, shaped by tradition and strict expectations. She never sought attention but remained one of the busiest royals through action, not words. Camilla, while also from privilege, had come into the royal world from the outside, and her journey was anything but conventional. She wasn't prepared for this kind of life. Instead, she had to adapt quickly, learning to bear the weight of public scrutiny while reshaping her image. She chose to step more prominently into the public eye, using media appearances and carefully planned efforts to influence how she was perceived. Her path became one of earning trust and proving herself, not just behind closed doors, but in the public spotlight. This difference in approach naturally created some friction. Anne saw duty as a private, straightforward responsibility. Camilla, by contrast, believed some aspects of service needed to be visible, especially given the initial backlash she had faced. Anne's understanding of royal life was rooted in tradition, while Camilla's path was shaped by the necessity to evolve. These differing perspectives didn't make them adversaries, but they did keep a certain distance between them. Over time, a kind of balance developed. Though rarely seen sharing close conversations or affection, they managed to work together without conflict. Each woman found her place within the royal family, and remained steadfast, defined by quiet commitment and discipline. Camilla took a softer, more public route, focusing on charitable work and her role alongside King Charles. Their contrasts were sometimes still apparent. As Camilla assumed greater responsibility, Anne's reserved skepticism was noticeable. She questioned whether popularity and media savvy should hold such significance in royal duties. For Anne, commitment wasn't about being liked, it was about unwavering presence, regardless of circumstances. Camilla had once chosen to stay out of the spotlight. She maintained a low profile for years, slowly reshaping public opinion. It was only after long, deliberate effort that she began to step forward with more confidence. Though not everyone embraced her visibility, including some within the royal family, she continued her work. Anne's concerns went beyond personal discomfort, they stemmed from a deeper belief in what royalty should represent. Anne's reservations weren't just emotional, they were tied to her principles. She valued discipline, placing the monarchy above all else, and leading by steady example. She wasn't convinced that Camilla fully grasped the gravity of those responsibilities. As Camilla's role expanded, Anne's unwavering presence stayed the same. The two often appeared together, but never truly connected. Their relationship, shaped by quiet differences and cautious mutual respect, mirrored the broader challenge of modernizing a centuries-old institution. Anne's loyalty to the monarchy was shaped by decades of service and a deep bond with her late mother, Queen Elizabeth. She was fiercely protective of the royal image. raised with firm values of duty and tradition, these weren't just ideas to her, they were a way of life. So when Charles moved closer to marrying Camilla, and found it difficult to accept, to her, it wasn't just awkward, it threatened everything the monarchy stood for. During Diana's lifetime, Charles and Camilla's relationship was steeped in controversy. The world watched and judged, and believed those years left a lasting stain on the royal reputation. Making Camilla queen, even as consort, risked solidifying that stain. It wasn't just Anne's personal view, it was her way of safeguarding the crown's dignity. From the beginning, Anne doubted whether Camilla could shoulder the demands of senior royal life. She didn't see the unwavering commitment or strong work ethic that Anne believed such a role required. To Anne, royalty wasn't about titles or luxury. It was about service, performed with grace, strength, and humility. She wasn't convinced Camilla had proven herself capable of that. As the monarchy evolved, so did Camilla's role. No longer in the background, she now stood beside the king, representing the crown publicly. This shift led to a private family meeting to discuss her new position, and didn't hold back. Known for her directness, she spoke from a place of duty, not resentment. To her, the role of queen consort demanded someone who could truly win public trust and exemplify lifelong service. Anne didn't believe Camilla was that person. The discussion was tense. Camilla listened silently, composed but affected by Anne's words. This wasn't criticism from outsiders, it came from within the royal family. Despite her years of effort to rebuild her image and earn acceptance, Camilla now felt that progress questioned. Anne stood firm. Her life had been one of steady service, carrying out hundreds of royal duties each year, many without glamour or recognition. Her reputation as the most hardworking royal wasn't just symbolic, it was earned through relentless consistency. While others might have embraced the spotlight and took on the quieter, essential roles. At the center of the meeting sat King Charles, calm and collected, listening carefully. The great thing, if I may say so, is there's more and more consensus building around what needs to be done, he offered, attempting to steer the room. Still, Anne's voice carried special weight, shaped by experience and a deep understanding of what it means to serve the crown. Camilla, sitting nearby, showed strength mixed with sadness. She had faced criticism before, but this was personal. It came from someone she had hoped to earn approval from. Anne spoke with sincere conviction, not out of malice, but from a desire to protect the monarchy's future. In her view, royal life wasn't something one simply joined, it demanded total dedication. And she didn't yet see that in Camilla. Even as Charles sought to keep the discussion balanced, Anne remained firm. Her loyalty and principles wouldn't allow her to soften her stance. This wasn't about grudges, it was about legacy. The meeting revealed the emotional complexities of royal life, how personal and public roles can blur, and how tradition still carries immense weight. Anne knew her words might wound, but she stood by them. Camilla, though hurt, held her composure, recognizing how difficult and uncertain every step within the royal institution could be. Through it all, Anne never wavered. Her loyalty to the crown remained constant. Her words, though tough, came from a clear purpose, to uphold the values she had lived by. In that quiet, tension-filled room, her message stood firm: duty must always come first. Despite facing opposition, Camilla spent years working to earn her place. With patience and persistence, she fulfilled her royal duties and sought to win public respect. It was never easy. She was often compared to others and subjected to harsh judgment. Yet she remained steady, dedicating herself to the role. Over time, she reached a level of acceptance and recognition. Her journey was long, filled with obstacles, but ultimately marked by dignity and perseverance. When Catherine arrived, everything shifted. Her presence brought a fresh energy that immediately captured the public's attention. With her grace and charm, she reminded many of Princess Diana, and the media quickly embraced her. She was hailed as a new icon of elegance and compassion. These glowing comparisons made things harder for Camilla. Despite her years of effort and dedication, she began to feel overshadowed. It seemed as if all her work had been forgotten, while Catherine took center stage. The admiration once within Camilla's grasp now belonged to Catherine. Still, both women maintained a public display of unity. Their smiles and joint appearances suggested peace and harmony within the royal household. However, behind that polished exterior, quiet speculation grew. Some began to wonder how Camilla truly felt about Catherine. Rumors emerged, hinting at Camilla's disapproval of Catherine's non-aristocratic roots. Camilla had always lived in privileged circles, while Catherine came from a hardworking middle-class family. Her parents built their success without noble lineage. Before meeting Prince William, Catherine led a typical life. She attended university like many others and met William there. Their romance blossomed gradually and naturally. People loved this about her. She wasn't famous or royal, just a genuine, kind woman who happened to fall in love with a prince. That sincerity made her even more endearing to the public. When Catherine married William in 2011, the nation celebrated. Her wedding day marked a new era for the monarchy. She was stunning, kind, and approachable. Instead of acting superior, she spent time with regular people, volunteering and showing compassion. Whether speaking to global leaders or laughing with children, she always seemed sincere and humble. As Catherine's popularity soared, Camilla's challenges deepened. Despite her determination to be accepted, she once again found herself in someone else's shadow. Catherine's growing appeal made it harder for Camilla to shine. With every appearance, Catherine was praised for her grace and kindness, while Camilla continued to face skepticism and constant comparisons. Even within royal circles, Catherine formed meaningful bonds. Queen Elizabeth admired her, and Prince Harry was openly fond of her. Catherine's warmth was evident and heartfelt. Meanwhile, Camilla likely felt increasingly isolated. The attention she had long hoped for now belonged to someone else. When Charles ascended the throne, Camilla became queen consort, a major milestone in her royal life. Yet, even at this peak, something seemed to be missing. Her expression often reflected quiet frustration rather than joy. Catherine's popularity remained strong, perhaps even growing. The two women still appeared together, smiling and supporting each other in public, following royal protocol. But beneath the surface, there was a subtle competition. Though never directly acknowledged, this rivalry was felt. Both women carried out their duties with dignity, yet the unspoken tension lingered. Each knew she was being constantly judged by the public eye. Outwardly, they looked poised and serene, but their emotions were far more complex. Camilla had spent years earning her role. Catherine, meanwhile, seemed to win hearts overnight. Their silent rivalry shaped their dynamic, seen not in words, but in posture, expressions, and the quiet ways they navigated life under scrutiny. This situation isn't something that can be changed quickly. The dynamic between Camilla, the queen consort, and Catherine, the Princess of Wales, has been molded by years of changing public opinion, royal protocol, and their differing personalities. Though both hold significant roles, the way they are perceived and supported varies greatly. That perception affects their influence. Catherine is widely embraced as a modern and graceful royal. Camilla, in contrast, has battled for public acceptance, even after many years of service. Catherine's warmth, calm demeanor, and relatable background make her easier for the public to connect with. Her marriage to Prince William boosted her popularity, and her public behavior continues to earn respect. Camilla's journey has been more complicated. For a long time, she was negatively portrayed due to her connection to Charles and the breakdown of his marriage to Diana. That image stuck. Though she eventually married Charles and became queen consort, many still associate her with a difficult past. She has worked hard, supported charities, and remained loyal to the monarchy, but these efforts are often overlooked. Media portrayal plays a key role in how both women are seen. Catherine is frequently celebrated in flattering coverage, with articles praising her kindness and motherhood. Camilla's media image, however, remains mixed. Some acknowledge her work, while others focus on her history or draw comparisons to Diana. On social media, the divide is even clearer. Catherine is admired and supported, while Camilla faces criticism and less warmth. These public perceptions influence their positions within the royal family. Catherine is now viewed as a key figure in the monarchy's future. Her popularity gives her quiet influence behind palace doors. Insiders reportedly value her perspective and see her as a bridge to a new era. Camilla, meanwhile, still confronts doubts. To maintain her standing, she leans on tradition and her status as the king's wife. The rigid structure of royal life adds to the pressure. Every role is defined by centuries-old customs. When someone like Catherine gains widespread popularity, it disrupts the usual order. While everyone is expected to follow tradition, ambition and public sentiment can shift the internal dynamics. As queen consort, Camilla holds great responsibility. She supports the king, represents the monarchy, and shapes its public image. Her position carries weight. But Catherine's influence continues to rise. As the wife of the future king and mother of the next generation, she represents both continuity and change. Her modern values and personal warmth attract admiration that Camilla has struggled to match. Prince William's unwavering support also enhances Catherine's status. As the future monarch, his endorsement holds great power. King Charles must now juggle his duties with maintaining harmony between his wife and his son's family. Any sign of favoritism could upset the delicate balance. In this quiet but very real contest for visibility and respect, both women must tread carefully. Catherine's dedication to causes like mental health and early childhood education deepens her bond with the public. Her actions show she understands everyday concerns, earning her even more trust and admiration. Her strong relationship with William and the children adds to her image of stability and warmth. Camilla tries to remain relevant by embracing tradition and staying close to King Charles. She's also secured honors for her own family, seen by some as an effort to shape her legacy. But these actions often don't boost her public image. In contrast, Catherine's adaptable and modern approach resonates more with today's society, helping her remain a beloved figure. Catherine uses her public connection to strengthen her role. Camilla relies on her royal title and years of experience. Their relationship, built on the differences, continues to evolve. Every move they make contributes to the legacy they will leave behind. With continued public support, Catherine is set to remain one of the most admired and influential figures in the royal family. Her mix of duty and compassion has made her a symbol of strength and hope, admired across generations.